Thank you. Talking to quite a few people over the last day and a half and wondered whether this presentation is going to be too early and whether you guys are ready for AI and whether people are going to show up. So it's interesting to see, saying to the guys at Byte yesterday that 10 years ago I did a presentation on social media for dentists. Same thing. It's like, are people actually going to hear? People going to be here? So thank you for everybody that's made it to today's seminar. So I'm going to start like I start all of my seminars, and I'm going to talk about the challenges. So the challenges that I see in the dental industry as a whole. So anybody here thinks there's increased competition? Yeah. Anybody here has got enough staff and really great staff and they're all staying as long as you'd like, or anybody really struggling to retain really good team members? Yeah. Practice costs just sky high and doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Your patients way more marketing savvy than they have ever been, and it's just year on year, month on month, the expectations of your patients when it comes to how you market your practice is it's just getting higher. Your potential patients therefore are becoming more discerning about your services. You know, we've got to remember that dentistry is a discretionary spend. They have a choice whether they come for their 6 monthly checkup and clean. They have a choice whether they're going to take up their treatment plan. Okay, and what you need to remember is that there are so many businesses that are targeting your patients and your patient's wallet. And it's not just other dentists, it's luxury goods, it's Coles, you know, everybody wants a share of that wallet, including you guys. And the cost of living. You know, we are seeing that obviously the size of the wallet, the size of the amount of money that people have got to spend on everything, including health, is reducing. So it is tough out there. When it comes to marketing your dental practice, I believe that it's also getting harder. The environment is more confusing. So are you getting companies that are messaging you, phoning you? Remember the good old fax machines? Just getting bombarded with so many, we've got a solution to all of your patient worries messages. I'm guessing that you've got team members, family members that have got opinions about what you should and shouldn't do in your marketing. And the reality is that marketing is constantly evolving. I was saying yesterday that I've had this slide for a number of years, and here we are in the verge of AI when we are talking about marketing constantly evolving beyond anything that we've ever dreamed of. And I'm guessing that you guys actually want to focus on running a good practice, good business, delivering great clinical services to your patients.
Hey everybody, welcome to ADX24. My name is Ada, I am an AI-generated avatar, and I would like to introduce you to today's seminar, AI-Enhanced Dental Marketing, the ChatGPT Revolution in Practice Growth. Carolyn and I hope that you find this presentation as a launching pad to spark some ideas and provide inspiration on how you could use AI to help you with your practice marketing. Enjoy the seminar, and thank you for joining us today.
She has maxillary socks.
Thank you. So things are changing, okay? Imagine being able to program your own AI receptionist. You know, that is here. So I want to start off and I want to talk about artificial intelligence. So people are saying, and I believe that it is the fifth industrial revolution. It's going to change our lives beyond anything that we could ever imagine. So outside of dental, outside of marketing, AI is here, it's coming fast, and honestly, who knows what it's going to look like. The experts are saying that it could replace 300 million full-time jobs by 2030. I cannot even begin to imagine what that's going to look like. And to be honest, I have 2 teenage children, and I've said to them, You know, whatever you're learning today, you probably won't need, and whatever your exams are doing, probably not going to need it. Like, we have no idea what it's going to do to the world, to dentistry. Another interesting stat is 30% of all hours work is going to be taken over by AI. So think of you as a dentist, as a clinician, practice manager, business owner, 30%. And that's what we're seeing. And the people that are using AI at the moment, including myself, it's like it is improving what I can do exponentially. 30%, I think, is pretty fair. Would you agree? So my belief is it is the greatest opportunity that we have. The early adopters, the people that are thinking about this, understanding this, have got the ability to take this and be ahead of our field. So I've got 45 minutes, and the reality is, you know, I don't know how, or when I came to do the presentation, I didn't know what I was going to do, because it's like I can't teach you anything in 45 minutes. But what I want you to do is to leave here and have some inspiration, some thoughts, some ways of you could use AI in your marketing, a list of some tools to experiment with. So really high level, I want this to act as inspiration for you so that you can go deeper. I have a thought that if people are interested, if people within the industry want it, then we do a deeper course, and I talk to the ADIA or the ADA and we can do more training. But today it's very high level, it's just inspiration, just to give you some ideas of what is happening right now. So some of the slides, they're going to be small, and I apologize in advance. There's going to be some text heavy slides. So if you scan the QR code, I can send you the slides. I've also got business cards with the same QR code, so don't panic. You can get access to all of the information, and Ian at the back has got a whole ton of my business cards to hand out at the end if you need them. I also have a Facebook group, so we can carry on the conversation there, and I can share the videos to that platform. So again, same QR code, you can get access. So who am I and why am I here? I have over 25 years in marketing and sales, and 15 years specializing in marketing in the health, medical, dental space. So to kind of frame why I'm a little bit of a tech nerd, is my background is I'm a pure mathematician that then went straight into the tech industry. So yes, I'm in marketing, but the way I got here is a pretty random route. So for me, this is everything I've ever dreamed of, you know, because this is technology. So I started a marketing business, health, medical, dental. We specialized in dental 15 years ago. Wrote a book. If anybody wants a copy, grab me later and I'll tell you how you can get one. Won multiple industry awards. I have been the head of marketing for some of the biggest corporates, don't judge me, some of the largest corporates out there, and I've worked with the biggest, I've worked with the smallest, I've worked in startups and scale-ups, and now I'm working as a marketing consultant with some of the coolest businesses that I believe in the dental industry. And this year I'm launching an e-learning platform so that if you do want to learn more in your own time, in your own offices and homes, then basically everything I have learned over 15 years will be on that platform. But really, why am I here and why do I do this? And it is because I have spoken to so many practices over the years that are getting poor advice. They're buying services and marketing that they don't need and they don't understand. There are many cowboys in the industry that will sell you things that are not fit for purpose. So I guess for me, I want you guys to be empowered to understand what you should and shouldn't be doing in your marketing. Okay, so please, if you aren't coming to my seminars, I did one yesterday on mistakes dental marketing mistakes, again, you can get copies of the slides. Please start educating yourself so that when you talk to suppliers, make sure that you're getting what you need. So, just to test that you guys are awake, who is actually using artificial intelligence a lot? Okay, front row seats. Who's kind of playing with it, doing it? Yeah, wow. Keep your hands up. More than half the room. Amazing. Okay, how to play, but you actually don't really know what to do. Thank you. And who here has got no idea? Brilliant. Welcome. That's an interesting spread. And I should note that all of my images are generated by AI today. So there's some like really random but quite cute images, because that's what I do in the evenings. So I understand who's in the room. Dental practices, so not a DSO, not a group, smaller. Okay, thank you. DSOs or groups? Beautiful. Dental industry. Okay, thank you, thank you. ADA or other organisations? Oh, because normally I've got an ADA spy or an APRO spy that goes no. But I like that because I can go, come and talk, come and help. Okay, anybody else? No, Buddy's walked in off the street just to come to this. Surprise. All right. So, why? Why am I here? Why are we talking about this? Because it's a game changer. Okay? I heard about it a week after ChatGPT was launched and spent my Christmas holiday online. You guys can laugh. Sitting webinars myself, because I could see that this is going to change everything. So when it comes to marketing, you can use it in so many elements. You can use it to streamline your marketing, improve your productivity, help it produce content, or help you produce content as some inspiration to start a thought process, and now analyze your data within your practice and within your marketing, and more and more and more. Literally, I sit down and I go, I wonder if it could help me in this area, and it blows my mind, because pretty much everything that I can think of, as long as I can give the right prompts and guide it, it is actually able to help. So we're on an interesting journey, guys. So artificial intelligence, what does that actually mean? So from a high level, it means that it is something that can perform a task requiring human intelligence. So a computer that can perform a task that requires human intelligence. And then, has anybody heard of large language models, LLMs? So these are the data sets that these tools are trained on. And I'll give you the example. So I went, because again, I have no life, so I was at a seminar at the Opera House on AI, and there was the Dean of Sydney Uni, Dean for Computer Science. And he stood there and he said, look, I'm a pretty smart guy. I've written quite a few books. I have read so much information. And he said, and my peers, they're pretty smart people and they know a lot. He said, but this knows everything. This knows everything. Gives me goosebumps. So within these pieces of software, it knows everything. And your opportunity or your challenge is to make it deliver on what you want to know. Huge opportunity. Exclusions. I have a limited amount of time. I would like to talk for days. I probably could talk for days. I'm only going to talk about AI in marketing. And I'm not going to talk about chatbots, and I'm not going to talk about virtual assistants. And I'm going to give you a 1-minute reason is Google, Air Canada, and see the case study where somebody was on Air Canada's chatbot. The chatbot made up a policy that Air Canada had to then stand behind because it was their chatbot, and they were taken to court. Let's take it into, let's imagine that we are clinicians here, and imagine that you might have your patients on a chatbot on your computer, on your website, and they're asking clinical information, and there's a chatbot that's making things up. I have a dental emergency, what could I do? Okay, the technology is not there. So it might be there, it could be there, and it will be there, but right now I don't even want to talk about you guys using any form of AI for direct patient communication that you are not sitting between. All got that one? Please, because who wants to be that test case in Australia? Nobody here. All right. So ethics, because every conversation about AI needs to have that ethical conversation. So I need you to realize that unless you are paying for the enterprise versions of these tools, the content that you are putting in is being added to that data set. Okay, so do not put anything in there that you don't want potentially in the public domain. Do not put any patient information in there that ties it back to a person. Do not put any clinical information in there that ties it back to a person. Okay, really important. We do not know what's going to happen to these huge data sets. We don't know what's happening in the future. So please don't put anything in there in the slightest bit sensitive, commercially or clinically. Got that one? Thank you. And yes, there are huge questions still about copyright, about usage, about IP. I'm no lawyer. We're going to see what happens. This is new technology. And yes, there are absolute stories about fairness, bias. If you read as many things as I do, it's questionable. So again, just be aware that these are new tools and be careful about how you're using them and what they're telling you. All right, so I said that I wanted just to give you some inspiration. So I'm just going to show you ideas and thoughts of how you can use AI in your practices. So, anybody here heard of prompt engineering? Anybody here aware that you have to program these tools? A few nods. Okay, so what I've done is I've given you examples. Remember, you'll have copies of these slides of some example prompts. The more information that you can give to these tools, the better the response. So imagining that you're working with, this is a logo design, a graphic designer. You've got to imagine that this tool is your graphic designer and you give it as much information as you possibly can. And then you give it as much feedback as you possibly can. Imagine that this tool is like the most highly skilled member of your team that you're ever going to have, but also the most stupid. And you have to be so direct, you're laughing at me, with everything that you tell them, because they will do exactly what you say. So the more information you give them, the better the result. So, logo design, are you ready for this? Oh my goodness, who here would love this? Do you like the typos? Oh, I've been told I'm not allowed to move away from here. Robot sniles. Dentistry. Okay? It may be the smartest tool on the planet, but who here would like one of these logos for their practice? Probably not. Okay, this is the result of one prompt. You could refine it, but really, if I was going through a rebranding process for a dental practice, I wouldn't be using ChatGPT. Anybody agree? Yeah. Okay. How simple do my Halloween colouring sheets look? It probably took me about 2 hours to get to these. But I actually really like them. So I won't show you all the prompts, but for me, it was worth it. So you can be really precise about what you want. Remember, the smartest member of your team, but also the most stupidest. You need to be able to really experiment and tell it exactly what you want, and then refine it, and then refine and refine. Now, social media ideas. Has anybody been playing with it for social media posts? This, I actually think, is one of the greatest game changers out there. All right, so I'm going to read this to you and I'm going to explain so you can kind of learn how to do some prompt engineering. So, act as an expert in human behavior and dental marketing. So you need to learn to prompt and tell AI who you want them to act as. Okay? A lawyer, an engineer, a graphic designer, the more information you can give. So we want them to be an expert in human behavior. We want them to think like a human, okay? And dental marketing. Have a practice called Robot Smiles. I hope nobody's going to steal my brand name. It's mine. Okay, and my practice is focused on using the latest in dental innovation for improved oral health and smile makeovers. You could then expand. Okay, you could say my target market are people aged 25 to 45. You could say, think about what they care about when it comes to smile makeovers. You can really, really give so much information. So then I've said, give me some ideas for social media posts that might promote my practice and my services to potential patients. Remember, give it as much as you can. Each post needs to be warm and approachable with a clear call to action. So you need to give it a tone of voice. Okay? Then, ensure the grammar is Australian English. And then follow the APRA advertising guidelines. So this last one, you need to know the APRA advertising guidelines because you are way smarter than ChatGPT and you do not want it to start doing something that is in breach of APRA, okay? So can you see that that's quite a long prompt? Instead of, give me 30 days worth of social media posts, I am a dentist. So the more information that you give, the better you will get, okay? So I'll show you a video of how quickly you get the information back. So apologies for the text size, but I wanted to show you the speed of how this thing works. So that's me copying it in, hitting send. And I'm not even going to read that because I'd have to put my glasses on. Innovation Spotlight post. Patient education post. Behind the scenes post. Testimonial highlights post. Hey, remember that APRA conversation? Point proven. Okay? You gotta know. Educational infographic. So who here on a Monday morning when they're thinking about their social media posts and they have no idea would love to just sit there and go, oh my goodness, it's Dental Health Week. These are my target. These are the services I offer. Give me some ideas. And then what you can do, you can then prompt to say, okay, I love the idea of the behind the scenes. Give me some more ideas. We've got a CEREC machine. Give me some more ideas. We've got noise cancelling headphones. Give me more ideas. And you can just carry on prompting. I need to point out that there is the free version of these tools and the paid versions of these tools. I use the paid versions. And I recommend for a whole $20 US a month that you also invest in the smartest member of your team. Second smartest. So email newsletter. Who here is actually sending out patient comms? Who here goes, oh my goodness, I I have no idea what to write. No idea what to write. Okay, so again, another long prompt. Just to reiterate, the more information you give, the better the response. Okay, so act as an expert, human behavior and marketing, have a dental practice called, yay, Robot Smiles, patient is focused on. All right, so I've just introduced EMS Airflow into my practice and want to inform my patients of its benefits and invite them in to come to the practice for a checkup and clean, experience airflow. Sounds fair enough, doesn't it? That's actually something that you could kind of do, and it would probably take you a few hours to actually think about this. Write an email to my patients with a strong call to action being come and book in. Give me 3 strong subject headers, because in an email you need something that actually people are going to open, and this is incredible. Again, ensure that it's Australian English, follows APRA guidelines. Again, we know it probably won't, but let's have a go. I'm not going to show you how long and how quickly it does it, but if you can read this, this is the first version from that prompt. Did I tell it about EMS Airflow? Or did I just say I had? Who would say that that is pretty cool for a first version? You're obviously not going to take, or I hope, in fact, I'm telling you, do not take what it says and blindly copy. Take it, refine it, put your own words in, make it feel like you, tweak it, but make sure that the result is what you would want to send. But as a starter, who here would find this useful in their practice? Absolutely. Who here knows that sending emails to their patients is absolutely critical? That you have got existing patients on your database, you have permission, I hope, to contact them. They have outstanding treatment plans, they haven't been in for checkups and clean. This is game-changing, absolutely game-changing, if you follow the rules and make sure that you are using the tool correctly. I don't know whether you guys are watching and looking at things online and go, did a human write that? And there's some words in there that you go, oh my goodness. So just a little bit of fun, but the point is there are some phrases that scream AI. Try and look critically at what these tools are writing for you. And if you would not use those phrases or that tone of voice, please don't. We don't want practices to sound like Robot Smiles, okay? So just a bit of fun, but the point is just make sure that you are using the output smartly, making sure that the voice is your voice. You can use the ideas, but don't just blindly copy. We got that one? Okay. Now, a little bit different, and I don't know whether any of you are even aware that you can get transcriptions. So I hope the audio quality is actually going to work, and I've got no idea.
So this is Otter AI. Imagine having somebody that can take your notes and transcribe it for you. It's pretty cool. It makes errors, but it's well worth it if you are like me and just have a brain full of ideas and inspiration that you'd like somebody to write down for you and have it captured. The great thing about this is you can take this content, put it into ChatGPT and see if it can improve it. Good luck and have fun.
Pretty clever. So just if you're having your morning huddles, if you are actioning your team, if you're just thinking about ideas for your practice, you literally can have apps on your phone free version that can just take your notes. So this isn't a new tool. I've been using this for probably 5 years, and I would make handover notes to my team. And so I would record it, and then I could send this to them, and they could listen to me or they could read me. Oh joy. Okay, there are so many tools that can do so many things for your business. Who here has started experimenting with the data analysis? Okay. This is incredible. So imagine that you can get outputs from your practice management software, from your billing application, from your from Xero, your accounting software, and literally, obviously, taking out all details of your business, but you can copy and paste in spreadsheets, data, and then you can ask it to analyze. So because I'm obviously lazy and I'm doing a presentation, I actually asked ChatGPT just to create some data for me. Thank you very much. And I asked it to analyze. And it produced graphs. It then gave me a breakdown and a summary of all of my treatments, where the movements were. Can you imagine being able to look at the data in your practice, pull out a clinician's production for the last 6 months and actually see what they're doing for $20 a month? I'm not on commission. Can you imagine those reports that you get from your Google Ads guy and you actually have no idea what he's trying to tell you? Copy and paste and go, what is going on? Can you explain this to me? And you can say, can you explain this like a 7-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 15-year-old, a professor of artificial intelligence? Okay, you can ask it anything that you may ever want to ask, and it will do it. Anything that you possibly have a question, the chances are, if you can drive and learn to drive these machines, it will be able to give you the answer. It knows everything. Your challenge is learning how to drive this software. So, a list of ideas of how you could use this tool. And there are endless ideas. Remember, I can send the slides, got the cards with the QR code. Whatever it is you need. And these, remember, I'm not using any private tool, any specific tool. I know that there's guys out here that are selling specific AI tools, and I promise you that I will do some analysis and I will start sharing my thoughts because it is so new. What I want you to understand is the generic tools that are out there for $20 US a month is actually the platform that everything else is being built on. Okay, so if you have the time and the inclination to actually learn this and come along on the ride, you could be doing some amazing things. So literally have a think. How could you use it? And I will start sharing on my Facebook group things that I'm doing. That there was a tool that I couldn't work out how to demonstrate. It was just too complex. But there's ways of being able to use Canva. You guys using Canva for graphic design. So being able to get ChatGPT to do posts, then use some of the tools within Canva, and it literally can do copy and paste all of your prompts into designs, and you have got 30, 50, 100 posts. But it was too hard for me to demonstrate here. And this is just the beginning, okay? So My tools, my favorite, ChatGPT. So that is the first large language model. Claude AI. Has anybody started playing with Claude? He's the new kid on the block, and he's possibly going to overtake ChatGPT. So very, very similar. Can't do any of the images, but I am actually now, I'm putting things into ChatGPT and I'm putting them into Claude. So I'm validating and I'm getting different views. And Claude is pretty cool, pretty smart, and free. So have a play. Otter AI, transcriptions, nice little tool. Pretty easy if you just want to have some notes typed up. ChatGPT, so within ChatGPT Pro, there is the ability to do images. So all of the images I've done for the presentation were all done through ChatGPT Pro, the DALL-E. The colouring sheets were. The logo, maybe not, but that was also done. Again, just play. Where this has come, the images that were designed a year ago compared to what you can do now is incredible. Synthesia. So remember the video at the very beginning? Let's just take 2 steps back on that one and imagine that wasn't her talking about the presentation today. Imagine that was her talking about an outstanding treatment plan. Imagine that she wasn't speaking in English. Imagine that she could speak every single language that your patients are speaking. Imagine that she will automatically translate your script into all of those languages and speak in that language. Imagine that you can put your brand behind her face. Imagine you can change her face. Imagine you can put your face onto her body. And the technology is here today. Synthesia blows my mind of what we can do there, video-wise, communication-wise, with patients. And then Pictory, if you do have scripts and you just want to go type in a script or an idea, then it will do videos from your script. So it will go out and it will find stock videos and it will mash it together and you will have your own little advert. Takes a little bit of work, it's not quite there, but these are the tools that are all available now, that they're not specific, they're pretty affordable for you to play with. Okay, back to the point. Remember that it is the smartest member of your team, but needs the most direction for you to get what you want out. Prompt engineering. The more detail that you give it, the better response, and you will be learning this. Okay, you are on this journey and you will understand what I mean. You will give it a bland vanilla post or idea and you'll get bland vanilla back, but the more you give it, the better the result. Okay, we've proven today, haven't we? It doesn't know APRA advertising guidelines. Who do you think should know APRA advertising guidelines? Yes, you should. And yesterday I ranted on, but I'll rant again today. You could end up with a $60,000 to $120,000 fine for breaching APRA. So talk to me afterwards if we want to have a conversation about APRA, but you guys are responsible. You cannot blame a machine for not knowing the rules that you need to live by. Clinical information. Do you think that there might be a bit of a risk on using ChatGPT for the clinical information that you hopefully know yourself? Okay, you need to check. If you are using any information that is in any way clinical, make sure that you are checking and double checking. And back to the bingo, make sure that it is your voice, that it sounds like you. Do not be on my ChatGPT bingo card. In fact, I might just start prompting you guys when I do see it. Would that be good? And say, I'll just go bingo. Okay, so it's an amazing tool, but you've got to learn how to do it. So AI is new. It's going to change beyond I have no idea. Next ADX, there's probably going to be robot me here. Happy days. Okay. I've given you my favorite tools, but please don't go out today and go, I'm going to start experimenting with 10 tools, because it's too hard. Pick 1 or 2. That's it. Go slow. Teach yourself. The more direction, the better the outcome. It's going to take you a number of attempts to get what you want. And possibly halfway through, you will get so frustrated that you will just close it down, walk away, come back to it. But it is worth it. Put in the time. And if you are like me, that gets really excited about new, bright, shiny objects, your team are not going to be as excited as you are. If you go in and go, oh my goodness, everybody, there's this huge evolution in technology and we're all going to learn it together, do you think they might be a little bit worried and a little bit stressed, and it's something else that they're going to have to think about in their already busy lives? Do you think it might be better that you learn this and understand this before you scare any member of your team? So, the opportunity, how cute are these robot dentists? Just putting it out there. There's going to be a small number of you, and this is what we're saying. Okay? There's going to be a small number of you that are going to take this, that can see it for the opportunity that it is. There are going to be other practices that will possibly never get this. So the fact that you are here today is absolutely incredible. You know, let's see. I would love for you guys to come into the Facebook group and share. Privately, publicly, you can do anonymous posts on how you're doing. Scan the QR code, grab a card, you'll get a copy of the slides. Join the Facebook group and I will post some more videos. If you're here tomorrow, talking about social media, not with AI, and here are my contact details if you want to know more. On time. Thank you. I have 1 minute for questions now.